Yes, we are live. Hello, loves. It's Sonia G. We are talking about how to manifest this new earth living. So I'm going to pin a comment while everyone jumps on. And we're going to talk about some real things because I know everybody is feeling the vibes of what's happening. So we're going to do this thing together. All right? Let's have some tea, have a moment, take a breath. I already lit my candle. I did all my things right there. There's also feathers. I should show you for the retreat. Like full retreat mode over here. And this is why I'm doing it, because of all the things happening in our world. But we're really going to talk about it, and I really want to help you shift this because it's important that we do this, my loves. So important. Stephanie, OMG, I needed a live from you. Yes, it's like I heard you. I was like, we need to do a live today. So let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Tara's saying, I was just watching module 3 of Goddess on Mission. It's an all-day Sonia G. Yes, my loves, any of you that are in my courses, with the energy that's going on today, it doesn't even matter. Put on a module. If you're not in one of my courses, like go to my YouTube, listen to some things. Like it's so important to be plugged into a vibe, okay? Like a frequency that lifts you. Like just put it in the background. I teach this stuff all the time. Like when you're having a hard time, like go, it is cold here. It's like 48. I feel like it's like I'm gonna die. Cold. It's really not that cold, but it's like it was a rough transition from like, summer days to like winter. So I was like, oh my gosh. Anyways, that's what you want to do, okay? Just put it in the background. It doesn't even matter that you're not doing the work. Just put it in the background while you like do your dishes or whatever it is that you're doing, right? Like just to be in the high vibe. So important, so important. Lopa is saying, I just realized it's Friday and not Monday. You guys, I love you. That's awesome. We're in quantum time. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Well, this tea is hard to get to. So let's talk about what's going on. We're all feeling this vibe. Oh, Lopa was thinking that it was Monday because I came on. I love you. Because generally this marks the Monday Night Live. But no, we are talking about things because this morning I woke up feeling like I had just fought a fight. Not only that, last night when I went to say goodnight to Henry, because he goes to bed like hours before me. He's a sun person, I'm a moon person. So we have different cycles. So I go to say goodnight to him and he was full blown in the middle of something. And I got into his dream, like saying goodnight. So I was like, he's having interesting dreams. Then I went to sleep later on and I had all sorts of dreams with all sorts of things that like I woke up exhausted. And I know that a lot of you did too. When that happens, there are things to pay attention to, right? And then I woke up and I was pissed off. I woke up with the face of this cobra in my face. That's like the image I woke up to. And I was like, oh, hell no, we got shit to clear. And I was just pissed off and I was exhausted. And I'm getting into this in case this helps you, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in our dreams. So I laid in bed and I listened to a sequence of all my meditations. I really do listen to my own meditations because they're helpful. I make them because they're helpful. But whatever helps you, right? So those of you that are in the courses, like I listen to the Goddess on Mission ones. I listen to the Illuminated Mastermind one. I listen to all of them. And then the mermaid meditation, and I sat there and then I was like, no, I was still pissed. And I was like, okay, I need Abraham. Abraham is like, all the things are always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Even when it's not working out for me, right? That one, right? And so I'm like, okay, like working with this. And I finally got to the point where I could feel like I could step out of bed, because this is always my goal, to step out of bed, to get out of bed. When I put my feet down, I am connected in 12D, right? But if I'm pissed off and if I'm in a bad mood and if I'm fighting monsters in my dreams, I'm not going to step down on the floor, right, on my rug, like by my bed, and like be able to plug into like and be in, consciously, intentionally having the kind of day that I want. And so I had to fight that fight. And so I was like, damn it. And so I got up And I did the work, and I went straight to the mirror, and I did the work, and I turned it around, and it requires work. It took me almost an hour altogether. That has not happened in a really long time. Generally, I can turn something around in like 10 minutes. Like, it doesn't take me that long. So for it to take that long, like, there's a lot going on, right? There's a lot of energy. The sun is shifted. There's things that are being like, we had that glitch in the Schumann resonance where the data was taken out. Some people are calling it a blackout. It does not feel like a blackout. It feels like honestly, some of the things that are coming through in the Schumann resonance, it visually, you can see, if you see the long graph, it talks to you. It's like this heartbeat happening that is just talking. And so I think visually some of the data was removed for us to like not connect with it. That's my thoughts, because it doesn't feel like a blackout. And so I felt like there was information that came where it didn't want, like, whatever happens, it just didn't want to be like in evidence, I want to say. Like, some things go hidden. They always go hidden. You guys know this. This is not like, rocket science. Some shit they censor. So that's a good way of saying it. I feel like it was part of the censorship that's happening right now, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Because there are things that awaken us. There are things that just being in the presence of them, just receiving the information, just seeing the things, right? It wakes us up. And so there are forces that are like, yeah, let's not awaken the people. Let's not, they know. It's not, everybody knows. This is like, let's set the table straight. Everyone knows, okay, that we are here. The bad guys know we're here. We know we're here. We are doing our part, and everybody's fighting the fight. Some people are like, whatever, that's not really real, right? And you think you're not really in like the craziest motherfucking sci-fi movie ever, but we are. Like, our life is like crazier than any sci-fi movie out there, and we're living it. We are living, like, our reality is more mind-blowing, right, than the shit that we see on TV in so many ways. So, and by TV, I don't mean like, the yucky stuff, because I don't watch that stuff. Anyways, I'm talking about the cool sci-fis. So here's the thing. Because we are where we are, okay, and because it took me this much, so this is why I'm doing the live, because I was like, shit, if I feel this way, and I have done a lot of work, the more work you do, okay, the more DNA strands you have activated, the more activations you have gone through, the more codes you have integrated, the more you have like integrated the higher energies, like your higher selves, different layers of your higher selves. You're working with your guide, your DNA is on, you know how to manage your energy. Like, the more of this stuff that you do, the easier it is, right? You have like a light worker's immune system, like, you know what to do, if that's what we want to call it. But you're not as, because your energy pillar gets strong, right? Like, you're strong, and so so the little shit bounces off, right? Something that would like, affect somebody else, it bounces off. So for it to wipe me out like that, I was like, something's going on. And so I know, which is why I talk about it. So there's a lot that's happening with all of the 5G that's going on. There's a lot that's happening through our TV screens and our phones and all of the technological equipment, even when it's turned off, even when you're not paying attention, okay? There's a lot of that's happening. And there's like, we live in like a society that's like wired. We have wires everywhere. There are literally electronics all around us, and there are electromagnetic impulses that are being broadcasted, okay, that are not in frequencies that are visible or hearable. Kind of like, when you do the whistling for the dogs or whatever, and they hear it, but we don't hear it, okay? But it goes to your subconscious. So there are frequencies, kind of like when you do the neural beats. Basically, the point I'm getting at is there's shit that gets straight to your subconscious that you're not aware of, okay? So if you're just out there without protection, like without light. And I don't mean like putting on your shield every day, because we shouldn't have to do that. You should, if you want to, have enough power that stuff just buzzes off, right? Like your light column by now needs to be running like a motherfucking lightsaber that's like bzzz, right? And you're like so powered up that any bullshit just gets buzzed. It's like bzzz, out, bzzz, right? Your field is so strong that this right here recalibrates everything and just buzzes it off. All the vibes like go out, like all the things go out that need to go out. So that is, how we want it. So, of course, when you're feeling like you're not having a strong day, then, of course, put on your bubble, put on your protection, envision your, all the things like armor of light, all the things that you got to do the things, okay? And so I'm not, put the stones in your pocket, like everything. So whatever it is that you feel that helps you to not get like, this like pressure from the outside. But the point is, there's a bombardment and there's a thing, and it's happening. And if you give up the fight, okay, so basically the shitty thoughts are not your thoughts, okay? What I'm trying to tell you is that the thoughts creep in. The second your mind is not filled with light, if you go blank, right? Which is why sometimes I think transcendental meditation is bullshit, because you're letting your mind, I'm sorry, and if it works for you, that's great, keep doing it. That was just like a trend that was just weird, and I think it was just for the overworked people in like, corporate America, Adderall, like burnt out CEOs that just needed to blank out their mind, and that was great for them. But transcendental meditation is all about like getting to that point where you're blank. Well, it's great if you can hold it in a positive energy. It's great if you can hold that state in the God consciousness, in the oneness consciousness, whatever you want to call it, in creator consciousness and in the light. But if people just fucking blank in their mind and they go, you're not there, because there's a way to blank. Kind of like when you have had too much to drink and you get a little fuzzy and you just kind of blank out and you're out of it. Like that feeling. When you do that and you're not present, if you're not inhabiting your body consciously, you are letting there be room for bullshit to come inside, okay? And then it's not your thoughts. And then it's not so basically there are impulses that are coming at you, creating images, creating stuff that you're picking up. You're picking it up by being at the store, by being in your car, by the radio waves, by the fridge, by whatever, maybe not the fridge, but like, the microwave, like it just fucks with our energy fields. And so if all around us, there are like unconscious collective thoughts, especially people that are empaths, like you're picking that shit up. It's not your thoughts. You're going to have to fight them. You have to get really good at knowing what is you and what is not you, okay? Like there's also entities. There's also all sorts of things that happen. So, but a lot of it is a fight that just literally is like an electromagnetic fight. That's like a lot of it. And if you are waking up and you're having a hard time, you're like, you feel like you're depressed, you feel like you want to give up, you feel like you've been fighting this fight and you feel like you're on the point of breaking. There's a lot of this shit that comes from social media too. I mean, right now, the reason why this is happening is because they want everybody, at a breaking point over what's happening with, it's election time. We're being bombarded, like we're being nuked in like a frequency kind of way, okay? This is a mental war. So like it's just coming and coming and coming. And there are fake people, there are people that are spreading fake news about the true conspiracy shit. Like there's all sorts of fucking webs. It's a motherfucking web of lies out there, okay? So the only place where you are safe is in the knowledge of who you are and how you feel and your power of discernment, okay? Because if you start going down rabbit holes, and there's a lot of people, like I was saying last night, which made me tap into this energy that's really shitty, but there's a lot of people out there that I was like, what the fuck? Because I follow accounts that, do talk about the news and expose facts. And I want to see, I just want to get an understanding of what's going on, but I don't dwell on it. Right? We don't dwell on it. Remember that. We don't get attached with feelings. We don't go like, oh, and then like cause fear. That doesn't serve. Doesn't serve, doesn't serve, okay? We have to learn to observe that, witness that reality, and then create our own. So anyways, so I'm watching some of these accounts and I'm like, these motherfuckers, like, they sit there and they're like, I told you this was gonna happen. Oh my gosh, I was right. And I'm like, really? So you're holding the reality together of the shit show happening because you want to be right. How stupid can this be? Right? We are not exposing the facts because we want to be right. We're exposing the facts for awareness so that we know this is what we're motherfucking done with. This is what we're burning at the stake. This is where the revolution ensues. And we're doing this. We're holding this, okay? But what happens to the human psyche is that when you're constantly seeing all of these negative things and they're jumping at you and people are like, oh my God, and this is the plan, and it's a takeover, and it's enslavement, it's la la la, and they're killing us, and like agendas, right? Like boom, bomb, 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 bombs. All of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? And you're depleted. It depletes you. So what you're not capable of doing is holding, right? It feels like this. It feels like you just cave under all of this like massive like bullshit. We don't want that, okay? You have to go like this. Literally explode it, okay? Explode it. You have to burst that bubble of reality. Burst it. Like however you like just, you have to bomb it, right? Like get it out, get it the fuck out of your aura. You don't want that shit. I know I'm cussing a lot, but I feel strongly about this. So get it out, you guys. Yeah, it is too much. You guys are saying that. So so yes, you want to spread awareness, but you don't want to hold the bullshit. That's not for us. It's to share the awareness, is to wake the people up, but it's not about the I told you so. It's not about holding those timelines. It's about exposing them so they can collapse. Our job, if you feel like sharing it, it's to share it because we want to create something different. So what you want to do is get very clear about the kind of world that you want. So what we're not getting, and this is our job, raise your hands, put your hands up for the new job. Like we have to be actively involved in this new job, okay? We get to envision what we want. We're not used to it, okay? But we are learning in this physical human form how to become creators. In order to become a creator, you're not reacting, okay? You're not seeing something and saying, oh, this hurt my feelings, or oh, that's not creation, that's reaction, okay? So you have to disengage. There's no reaction, there's action. So you have to decide, oh, this would be good, this would be good. I'm seeing the shit show, don't want the shit show. I'm seeing this looks good, let's do this, okay? Like this is how we want to do it. So while we are taking in and seeing these news, let's take them in a sense of like we're witnessing what's happening in the world, but we're very clear half of it is all bullshit and we know it, even in the news that circulate amongst the alternative news truthers and whatever not, okay? But what we need to do is focus on what we want. Because until we focus on what we don't want, how does the law of attraction go, my loves? You know this, right? Like, if you don't want this and you hold it inside, universe is gonna smack you in the face. Scrub it out of your system. Clear it out, cry it out, stomp it out, punch a motherfucking pillow, get it out of you, okay? Like get the thing, the feeling, and the energy out. You want to get to where you're holding love and harmony, and you see things outside of labels, pointing fingers. Like we want to hold unity consciousness. It's not easy, but we can do it, okay? So I'm not sitting here saying, hey, like we got the easiest job in the world, but we volunteered for this time because we knew we could do it, right? And if our souls knew we could do it, then why aren't we doing it? So we got to do it. We got to do it. We're here to do it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We can do this. So you have to get in these vibes every day, okay? Literally talk yourself through this stuff every single day. I have these conversations by myself all the time. Nobody will ever have your back like you do, okay? So, I mean, I got your back, but like you got your own back. So when those moments, right? And if you need to like go back to this video, like screen record this section or whatever, like do what you got to do. But like for me, I had to record myself many times, like telling myself things, because I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at turning things around, because I learned and I was like, there was nobody that, was doing this stuff before. But now, like, teach each other how to do these things. This is important, because you have to like reorganize it. You have to be your own best cheerleader, period. Call it cheerleader, call it fan, call it whatever you want. But like you've got to have your own back, because sometimes like when shit goes south, like we're not here to fall into depression. We're not here to break. We're not here to give up. This is not the job, okay? But right now, the pressure is so much. It's so much that it's like easy to be like, fuck, I give up. Okay? If you need to do that for a minute to like bust out the bubble, just be like, fuck, I give up. Because sometimes we hold so much, right? And you hold so much that you're just like, God, angels, universe, take it. Take it. Take it in the highest and best. I can't do this, right? Like you get to those moments where you're like on your knees and you're like, I need you. High yourself. Show the fuck up right now. This is the moment. This is the time. I have faith. I believe in you. Show up now. Take it, right? Like those moments happen. And we got to have that stuff, because in those moments as human beings, having a human experience, as infinite, eternal beings of light, having a very finite human experience, we remember that there is more to it, right? It's in those moments where you're down on your knees, and God knows I had a lot of those. So like you're down there and you're just like, you have to figure it out, right? And because you can't do it on your own, then you have to believe in a force that's greater than you. That's how we say a lot of people found Jesus, right? Meaning like, you found the force that is greater than you. You found the force of creation. You found a higher power. So however that happens. And then sometimes what happens is, because our world is so damn fast now, that you keep on moving, and then you're like, oh, I forgot. Like now I thought I got it on my own. And then like life goes, right? And then it's too heavy again. And then you're like, wait, God, where were we again? Like, what? God, angels, universe. However, I say it all together now, because I know that, depending on what's more, what you relate to, but like just have it to where right? One way or another. You have to have a higher connection. If it's your higher self, if it's, angelic realms, if it's the star beings, like know who you're working with, okay? That's it. And when in doubt, I always say creator of all that is, because I know that sometimes it gets really confusing. There's a lot of people that talk about a lot of gods and a lot of different things, right? So go to the source, creator of all that is. Creation had to happen at some point, even if you're confused, because I know that I'm saying this because there's a lot of people that are reconciling God, okay, and creation and all of that. So go to the source, find out the source, connect, okay? So, all right. So, where are we at? Giving it up. I'm like, where are we at? We're giving it up. And we always have to do our part. So the way that I'm saying the comment about creator, okay? The way that creator works is that if you do everything that is in your power to do, and you don't lie to yourself, okay, and you show up at 100%, then the rest will be taken, and the other part of the job will be done. That's how it works. But if you don't do your part, which is why I'm always talking about your 100%, right? If you don't do your part, it doesn't happen. It doesn't work. This is said in all the ancient books. It's like it shows up in the Bible. It shows up in all the books, okay? In all the religions and all the things. One way or another, this is said. So the point is, do your part. And you're the only one that knows what that is. You're also the only one that knows how you work, what talents you have, and how you can't compare yourself to other people, because you're here having a unique individual experience. There is no other soul. Like, think about how cool it is when you think about it that way. There's no other piece of your soul like, or soul family at all inside of the physical body that you're inhabiting right now. You're the only one, right? So you're having this very unique experience of self. Like, you're able to touch things, feel things, see things through this physical body. Like, we wanted to do this. We just kind of got entangled through the distortions of time. But like, this is a gift. And so when you see it that way, you're like, okay, I'm not like everybody else. I'm not going to crucify myself because I'm not showing up like this person. My body doesn't work this way. My mind doesn't work this way. Like, be you. You are okay to be different. Like, that's why I always say, like, don't make it weird. It's not weird. Otherwise, everyone is weird. You can make it cool to be weird if you want to, but like, don't make it weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there is no normal. What I'm trying to say is there is uniqueness and there is expression. And that's the shit that makes the world go round. When everybody becomes like the fucking same with the same nose job and the same, like, you know, whatever, I'm just saying. Like, you know, doing the same thing, saying the same sentences, going to eat at the same restaurants, wearing the same clothes because it's trendy, like, then you got a problem. But when you have people experiencing uniqueness and expressing uniqueness, that's the world we want. That's diversity, that's individuality, okay? So all the things that make it so that that individuality goes away, like, clearly not the vibe, okay? Which is kind of what's happening in a lot of this political stuff right now. So let's go back to this. What do you actually want? Because this is a question that we don't often look into. It's a scary question. Like, but what do you want? Like, what do you want to see for yourself? Like, start for yourself. What do you want for you? What do you want for your family? What do you want for your loved ones, right? What do you want for those around you? And then go, what do you want for the planet? Like, what do you actually want? Can you envision that? Because when we just intake information from outside in, how, like, you're just reacting, right? And so, God help me, don't you ever fucking say shit like this, okay? Not allowed, not allowed. Don't ever say things like, well, we'll see what happens. That is bullshit. That is such bullshit. That is you not using your own creator power. You want to be in charge of your reality. It's not about let's see what happens. It's what do you want to create, okay? And yes, I'm saying this very strongly, but the truth is, you, like, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what they say. Let's see what they do. Where the fuck is that gonna leave you? That's like the people that, like, are herded out like sheep. You're not a sheep. You didn't come on this planet to be a sheep. You have a mind of your own, okay? And you have creative powers of your own. Use them, okay? So we're not about what we, like, it's not about, did I make that clear? Like, don't do that. Hold the outcome that you want. You don't want to be here rolling the dice on ascension. Well, let's just see what happens. Let's see if we get the 3D or the 12D. Let's just roll the dice, or heaven or hell. Let's see what happens. That's motherfucking bullshit, right? And I call everybody out on that. What do you want? What are you capable of holding? That's the job, okay? We have to hold together the reality. What do you see? If you don't know what you want, how do you expect to get it, right? Like, if you don't know what you want, how will the universe know what to deliver? Like, Santa Claus gotta know, okay? Like, I'm just saying. Okay, you're getting what I'm saying here. Let's calm down for a second. But this is like a big deal because I see a lot of people that do the bitching and the things and like I told you, but then what are you actually doing about it? Yes, we're all sick of the things. Everybody is sick of the things that are happening in this world. We're not here to vent. Venting literally means wind. Like the word vent, if you look it up from Latin, it means wind. You are literally throwing your bullshit to the wind. And then what? Who's gonna catch it? Who is that energy gonna go infuse next? Who are those like words that you're just letting flow to the wind gonna go smack in the face next and give them a bad day? How's that bad day gonna come back around to you? That's karma, right? So, Let's rally our cells, literally cells inside of our body, our mind, our higher self, our angels, like rally it up, right? And create what you want. Create what you want. And I'm saying this in a way that's like, everybody can do this. Everybody can understand this. It doesn't matter what tools you have. Look at what you know how to do and create better, okay? Stop the worrying, stop the fears, stop the bitching. That's not serving anything. Start creating, start holding solutions, possibilities, new awarenesses, new like hubs of people, new connections, soul family, anchoring in new light, right? Visualizing cool shit happening, seeing all of this opportunity, like creating new earth businesses, stepping into your purpose, calling the money in on the good side of the people, doing all this work, like do this stuff, not this stuff. Okay, you have to get in charge. So let's like sing it, you guys. Preach, sing it. I love you guys. So yes, it's kind of one of these conversations, but I feel like, this energy today, I felt like, holy shit, a lot of people can break into this, right? Like you break from and I shared this stuff on my stories. We're not here to break, my loves. We are here to rebirth. Every time you feel like you're at a breaking point, that's a death and rebirth sequence. You can do it. Okay, we are like masters of this. We can do this. We have been through this shit. We can do it again. And now is it like when it matters. Now is when it matters. So you just dive in, right? And you take it head on. You look at the shit, you deal with the shit, you turn it around. Obviously, the more skills you have, the more knowledge you have, the more activations, the more light, the more work you've done, the easier this is because you have more tools. But either way, you're going to do it. You either do the work before or you do the work after, right? Like you either do the preventative work or you have to deal with it as it comes. One way or another, everybody does the work unless you want to end up, in the undercurrent of the shit show that's happening, which I think everybody's pretty clear that this is not what we want, right? So figure out how to raise your vibration every day. Figure out music that works, meditation that works, parts of modules in courses that really resonate with you. Right? Like do that. Breath of fire, breath work, meditation, nature, like do all of these things. We're like at the very end, right? It's almost like we're in overtime. If this was like a game, like some kind of, I don't know, I don't do really football or whatever the hell, but like if it was a soccer game, which is probably like one of the things I know more of the rules of, it's like, the game it's been so tight, it's been so rough, everybody got beat up, right? And now we're in fucking overtime and we're like, oh my God, just score the damn goal. Like, let's do it. So we're there, but we're still in the game. We're still in the game and we gotta do this, okay? And we're starting to feel the energy shift that's coming. This is the last of the Pisces energy. So for the solstice, December 21st, okay, this year, we are entering the age of Aquarius. So we're switching from earth energy to air energy. This is a big shift for our planet. This is the golden age, the age of Aquarius that has been sung about, right? So what exactly is going to happen with the solstice? So with the solstice, we're shifting eras. Like literally, it's like if we were looking back in history books, because sometimes we need that perspective, right? It would be like, oh my gosh, and it was the Renaissance, right? We went from the Dark Ages to the Renaissance. It's going to be like that. Except when you're in the middle of it, it's hard to see, right? Like when you're in the middle of a breakup and there's fights and there's like feelings and it's rough and you have to fight, for yourself to get out of a relationship, like it's rough. But then afterwards, you're like, oh my gosh, it was the best thing that ever happened. And I lived and, all these blessings came. It's kind of like that feeling. So we are shifting into a new age. And this is like, it's the age where like the full ascension of the earth happens, where earth becomes in like, I'm gonna use the word like glorified in her original divine blueprints, glory of being, the library of knowledge, the jewel that earth is, like that Gaia, the spirit of earth incarnated on earth. Just like our soul incarnated inside our physical body, Gaia is the spirit of Mother Earth went inside the earth, okay? So like she's doing her job, we're doing our job. We're all inside things doing the job. And so we're ascending all together. That's when it's going to happen, is in the age of Aquarius, okay? And so because of that, this is when the fight is the strongest, because the other side knows if we win this one, they're fucked, right? Like this is our fight. This is our last fight. And everything is coming to a head. And on the solstice, we're going to have this massive planetary alignment where we are going to be able to anchor in all the frequencies that need to be anchored in on the planet, on the 12D grid. This is a conversation that I actually want to have on a separate live, because I want to actually talk about just the solstice so that it doesn't get lost at the end of a live. So why don't we take a break, go make some tea, and then let's come back on and talk about the solstice, because this is a really important conversation and we're really starting to get our callings right now. So break time, and then we're coming back on. Whoa, without me kicking the light. Okay, go make some tea. I love you. I will see you on another live. And if you're catching this replay, go to the second one after. I love you all. Sonia G. This is not a regular live. This is a wake up live. And for all the things, go to @Moonbabes and the Light Tribe and go to my website, www.moonbabetribe.com. Okay? I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Mwah.